Hi, everybody. Thank you. I'm so glad that you all could be here, that we could do this in person where we were all in the same building at the same time. I think some of you all have seen this over the live stream, but in case you didn't, I want to explain what this is. Because of COVID, we didn't think it was right to do just a regular play as we've done in the past. So we needed to do something where we could still be masked, and where we could still, make sure that there was a dramatic part to it, but that we were trying to follow the protocols as much as we could. Years ago, actually still sometime today, but especially in the middle of the last century, there were radio plays that were done in theaters, oftentimes when the theater could not actually house a show itself. They would bring all this radio equipment in, and the actors would perform in front of a live audience. But the main thing was that it was like going out into the airwaves all over the United States. Orson Welles is a prime example of how well this went. So we thought we would do like a radio play. These plays, these evenings, included music, they included comedy, they included drama. So we wanted all of that. What you're going to see this afternoon is an example of what that radio play would have been like. The main piece is called The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. It is a classic example from the old Twilight Zone series about how the power of suspicion and fear and dread winds up destroying an entire community simply through their own prejudice and their own paranoia. But then the kids, your all's fellow students, wrote some commercials that we would interspace between the two acts of Twilight Zone. So they've written those themselves, and again, they're to be funny and very, very satirical, based on the idea of not smoking, for instance, or those kinds of things. We want to be as healthy as we can. We have a stage manager. She will be over in this section. She's kind of the one that holds it all together and keeps it running well. That was her part. Radio plays have to have a lot of sound effects. Some of these sound effects are real. They're created right there. But because a lot of them we cannot make, like cars and those kind of things, we use sound samples that we got off of our phones. So that when you see the cast pick up a phone and put it toward the microphone, it's as though they were doing that and then sending that out throughout the entire radio audience. So that's that idea. We're glad you're here, and we're very grateful for you all to support us in what we try to do. It is a lighthearted evening, but it's also a very serious evening, and we wanted to dedicate these performances to all of those who die from violence or from fear or from prejudice. We see that, unfortunately, every day. So we wanted to dedicate these performances to the victims of violence in whatever form that may be. We hope that you all enjoy the afternoon.
To get things started today, we'll have the song Salos, Kim Dueñez Gallegos, singing that international hit, 50%.
Anyone had told me a year and a half ago that Maury would be gone, I wouldn't have believed it. If anyone had told me I'd open up a store, make a go of it once more, I wouldn't have believed it. If anyone had told me a year and a half ago that I'd be dancing, going to a ballroom and dancing, I'd have said, oh me, I'd have said, not me. If anyone had told me a year and a half ago that there would be a man, I wouldn't have believed it. To think that my eyes would shine again, that what was lost could be mine again, I wouldn't have believed. I don't iron his shirts, I don't sew on his buttons, I don't know all the jokes he tells or the songs he holds. Though I may hold him all through the night, he may not be here when the morning comes. I don't pick out his ties or expect his tomorrows, but I feel when he's in my arms, he's where he wants to be. We have no memories, bittersweet with time, and I doubt if he'll spend New Year's Eve with me. I don't share his name, I don't wear his ring. There's no piece of paper saying that he's mine, but he says he loves me, and I believe it's true. Doesn't that make someone belong to you? So I don't share his name, so I don't wear his ring, so there's no piece of paper saying that he's mine. So we don't have the memories. I have enough memories. I've washed enough mornings, I've dried enough evenings, I've had enough birthdays to know what I want. Life is anyone's guess. It's a constant surprise. Though you don't plan to fall in love, but when you fall, you fall. I'd rather have 50% of him, or any percent of him, than all of anybody else at
Hundreds of people are terrorized by the pesky geese outside of Holy Cross every day. Innocent students and staff are being held hostage by the geese of the school parking lot each morning. all about on our website, www.geesebegone.com. Today, we can move one step closer into peaceful paradise. You too can help save a freshly washed car.
Oh no! Not on my car!
By donating in the next 5 minutes, you can receive a free Geese Be Gone sticker and complimentary picture of a goose being removed from the Holy Cross campus. Say geese.
Geese! Yes!
A small donation goes a long way to an urgent cause of endless geese squawks. Without your small donation, the Holy Cross community remains helpless. Donate today. Disclaimer, do not attempt to approach the geese outside of the school as they are vicious. Also, this website does not exist. Do not give a financial donation to www.geesebegone.com because this is not real. While the website is fake, the problem is very real. Donate today. And now for Act 1 of The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is a dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. Welcome to Maple Street, USA. Late spring. A tree-lined little world of front porch gliders, to hopscotch, to laughter of children, and the bell of an ice cream vendor.
Mommy, can we get some ice cream?
Me too.
At the sound of the roar and the flash of light, it will be precisely 6:43 p.m. on Maple Street.
What was that? A meteor?
That's what it looked like. I didn't hear any crash though. Did you?
Nope, I didn't hear anything except a roar.
Steve, what was that?
Guess it was a meteor, honey. Came awfully close, didn't it?
Too close for my money, much too close. Maple Street, 6:44 p.m. on a late April evening. Maple Street in the last calm and reflective moments before the monsters came.
That's strange. The lights won't work. Operator, something's wrong on the phone. Operator.
Steve, the power's off. I had soup on the stove and the stove just stopped working.
Same thing over here. I can't get a thing on the phone. It seems to be dead.
I couldn't hear the radio. Won't work at all.
Mr. Van Horn, why don't you go and check on Floor Street?
It doesn't make sense. Why should the power go off all of a sudden? And the phone line?
Maybe some sort of an electrical storm or something.
That don't seem likely. Sky's just as blue as anything. Not a cloud, no lightning, no thunder, no nothing. How can it be a storm? Can't get a thing on the radio, not even the portable. It's just as if everything had stopped. Well, we better go downtown and check with the police. Though, they'll probably think we're crazy or something. A little power failure. Right away, we get all flustered and everything.
It isn't just the power failure, Sherry. If it was, we'd still be able to get a broadcast on the portable. That runs on batteries. I'm gonna hop in my car and ride downtown. We'll get this straightened out. car was working fine before.
Out of gas?
No, I just had it filled up.
What's it mean?
Everything's not working. Something's wrong. We better walk downtown.
The two of us can go, Sherry. It couldn't be the meteor. A meteor couldn't do this.
Mr. Brand, you better not.
But why not, Tommy?
Well, they don't want you to.
Who doesn't want us to?
Them.
Them?
Who are them? Whoever was in that thing that flew by overhead.
What?
Whoever was in the thing that came over. I don't think they want us to leave here.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
They don't want us to leave. That's why they shut everything off.
What makes you say that? Whatever gave you that idea?
How isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard?
It's always that way. In every story I've ever read about a ship landing from outer space.
From outer space. Sally, you better get that kid of yours up to bed. He has been reading too many books or watching too many movies.
Tommy, come over here and stop that kind of talk.
Go ahead, Tommy. We'll be right back. And you'll see, that wasn't any ship or anything like it. That was just a meteor. No doubt, it probably had something to do with the power failure and the rest of it. Meteors can do some crazy things. Like sunspots.
Sure, that's the kind of thing, like sunspots. They mess with radio reception all over the world. And this thing being so close, why, there's no telling the sort of stuff it can do. Go ahead, Sherry. You and Steve go into town and see if that isn't what's causing it all.
Mr. Brand, wait. Please. Please don't leave here. You might not even be able to get to town. It was that way in the story. Nobody could leave. Nobody except...
Except who?
Well, except the people they'd sent down ahead of them. They looked just like humans, and it wasn't until the ship landed
Tommy,
that...
please, son, honey, don't talk that way.
That kid shouldn't talk that way, and we shouldn't be standing here listening to him. Well, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. The kid tells us a comic book plot, and here we stand listening.
Wait a minute. Let him talk. Go ahead, Tommy. What was this story about? And what about the people they sent out ahead of them?
Well, that was the way they prepared things for the landing. They sent 4 people. A mother, and a father, and 2 kids who looked just like humans. But they weren't.
Tommy. Well, I guess what we better do is run a check on the neighborhood and see which ones of us are really human.
There must be something better we can do than stand around all night making bum jokes about it. I wonder if Floor Street's got the same deal we got. And where is Pete Van Horn anyway? Didn't he get back yet?
Did you get it started, Les?
No, Dice. I'm just gonna leave it.
He got the car started somehow. He got his car started.
How come his car just up and started like that?
All by itself. He wasn't anywhere near it. It started all by itself.
And he never did come out to look at that thing that flew overhead. He wasn't even interested. Why? Why didn't he come out with the rest of us to look?
He always was an oddball. A real freak show. Him and his whole family.
Let's get over there and ask him.
Wait a minute. Let's not be a mob.
I just don't understand it. You saw me. All of you saw me. I tried to start it and it wouldn't start. I don't understand. I swear I don't understand. What's happening?
Maybe you better tell us. Nothing's working on this street. Nothing. No lights, no power, no radio. Nothing except one car. Yours.
Wait a minute now. You stop right there. You keep your distance, all of you. So I've got a car that starts by itself. Well, that's a freak thing. I admit it. But does that make me some kind of criminal or something? I don't know why the car works. It just does.
We're all on a monster kick, Les. It seems the general impression holds that maybe one family isn't what we think they are. Monsters from outer space. Little green invaders who fly over here. Do you know anybody that might fit that description around here on Maple Street?
What is this? A gag or something? This a practical joke or something?
Look, everybody, his porch light just went out.
Oh, I suppose that's supposed to incriminate me too. I'm guilty. That really does it, doesn't it? I just don't understand this. Look, You all know me. We've lived here for 5 years, right in that house. We're no different than any of the rest of you. We're no different at all, really. This whole thing is just weird.
Well, if that's the case, Les Goodman. You better explain.
Explain what?
Look, guys, let's just forget this.
Go ahead, let her talk. What about it? Explain what?
Well, sometimes I go to bed late at night. A couple of times, I'd come out on my porch and I'd see Mr. Goodman standing here in the wee hours of the morning, looking up at the sky. That's right, just looking up at the sky, as if he were waiting for something, as if he were looking for something.
You know, really, this is for laughs. You know what I'm guilty of? I'm guilty of not being able to sleep. Yeah, that's right, insomnia. What's the penalty for insomnia? Wait a minute, you stop right there. Did you hear what I said? I said it was insomnia. I said it was insomnia! You fools, you scared, frightened rabbits, you're sick people. You're sick people, all of you. Do you know that? And you don't even know what you're starting here, because let me tell you, this thing that you're starting here, it should frighten you. As God is my witness, you're letting something begin here that's a nightmare!
And now, a word from our healthier sponsor.
I have had the most stressful day. Constant rehearsals for this Twilight Zone, and this mean little director. And now, I've just run out of cigarettes.
Here, have one of mine.
Oh, yes, a cigarette. Not just any cigarette, Cancerette cigarettes. Oh, I've heard of these. Are they really as good as people say?
You betcha. It's got twice the chemicals than the leading cigarettes, and it's half the price.
Well, I guess I'll try. Oh, they really are great. And I love that chemical taste.
A little bit with every puff.
And the sizzling in my lungs.
It's breathtaking, literally.
Yep, it is.
Cancerette cigarettes, the burn you've been waiting for. You got a stressful work day? Take a puff. You got monsters in your neighborhood? Blow some smoke. And don't miss out on the coupons on the back. All coupons go toward the discount at the funeral home. For your quick trip to the graveyard, Cancerettes are your ride.
They're great.
Cancerettes, the fiery taste. More for your money. Don't let the burn go to waste.
Yeah, they're great.
And now for Act 2 of The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
It just doesn't seem right, though, keeping a watch on Les and Ethel Goodman. Why, Les, he was right when he said he was one of our neighbors. Why, I've known Ethel Goodman ever since they moved in. We've been good friends.
That don't prove a thing. Any guy who'd spend his time that early in the morning looking up at the sky, well, there's something wrong with that kind of person. There's something that ain't legitimate. Now, maybe under normal circumstances, we could let this go by. But these aren't normal circumstances. Why, look at this street. It is dark. Nothing but candles. Why, it's like going back into the Dark Ages or something.
Just stay right where you are, Steve. I don't want any trouble. But this time, if anybody sets foot on my porch, that's what they're gonna get. Trouble.
Look, Les,
I've already explained to you people. I don't sleep very well at night sometimes. I get up and I take a walk and I look up at the sky, I look at the stars.
That's exactly what he does. Why, this whole thing is some kind of madness or something.
That's exactly what it is, Mrs. Goodman. Some kind of madness.
You best watch who you're seen with, Steve. Until we get this all straightened out, you ain't exactly above suspicion yourself.
Or you, Sherry, or any of us. It seems from age 8 on up.
What I'd like to know is, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna stand around here all night?
There's nothing else we can do. One of them will tip their hand. They've got to.
There's actually something you can do, Sherry. You could go home and shut up. You could quit strutting around like a self-appointed hanging judge and just climb into bed and forget it.
You sound real anxious to have that happen, Steve. I think we better keep our eye out on you, too.
I think everything might as well come out now. Your wife has done plenty of talking, Steve, about how odd you are.
Go ahead. What does she say?
Go ahead. What's my wife said? Let's get it all out. Let's pick out every little quirk of every single man, woman, and child on this street. And then we may as well set up some kind of kangaroo court. How about a firing squad at dawn, Sherry? That way we can narrow down all the suspects, get them all together, and make your life easier.
There's no need to getting so upset, Steve. It's just that, well, Myers talked about how there's been plenty of nights you spent hours down in your basement, working on some kind of radio or something. Well, none of us have ever seen that radio set.
Go ahead, Steve. What kind of radio set are you working on? I've never seen it. Neither has anyone else. Who do you talk to on this radio set? And who talks to you?
I'm surprised at you, Sherry. How come you become so dumb all of a sudden? Who do I talk to? I talk to little green men from outer space. I talk to monsters who fly over here in what looks like meteorites.
Steve, please. It's just a ham radio set, that's all. I bought him a book on it myself. It's just a ham radio set. I can show it to you. It's right down in the basement.
Myra, show them nothing. They want to look inside our house, and let them get a search warrant.
Look, buddy, you can't afford to be a
Sherry, quit telling me what I can and can't afford, and stop telling me who's dangerous and who isn't, and who's safe and who's a menace. And you're all with her too. All of you. You're all standing here. You're all set to crucify. All set to point some kind of finger at some kind of neighbor. Well, listen here, friends. The only thing that's going to end up happening here tonight is we'll all end up eating each other alive.
That's not the only thing that can happen to us.
Oh my God!
Look! Ah! It's the monster! It's the monster!
Hand me my gun. You may need
A
this.
shotgun? Good Lord, will you people think a thought around here? What good would a shotgun do against?
Shut up, Steve! You're gonna talk us into a grave. You'd let whatever is out there walk right over us, wouldn't you? Well, some of us won't.
Oh my God. It's Pete Van Horn!
Pete Van Horn, he was just gonna go over to the next block to see the barrel song.
You killed him, Sherry. You shot him dead.
But I didn't know who he was. I certainly didn't know who he was. He comes walking out of the darkness. How was I supposed to know who he was? Steve, you know why I shot? How was I supposed to know he wasn't a monster or something? Look, we're all scared of the same thing here. I was just trying to protect my house. That's all I was trying to do. I swear to you, I didn't know it was somebody we knew. I swear I didn't know.
Sherry, the light just went on. Why did your light just go on?
What about it, Sherry? How come you're the only one with lights now?
That's what I'd like to know. You were so quick to kill Sherry, and you were so quick to tell us who we had to be careful of. Well, maybe you had to kill. Maybe Peter there was trying to tell us something. Maybe he'd found out something and came back to tell us who there was amongst us we had to watch out for.
No, it's nothing of the sort. I don't know why the lights are on. I swear, I don't. Somebody's pulling a gag or something.
A gag? A gag, Sherry? There's a dead man on the sidewalk and you killed him. Does this look like a gag to you?
No, please. It has to be
It has to be her. She shot him.
Stop! Look. I swear to you, it isn't me. But I know who it is. I swear to you, I know who the monster is here. I know which one of us doesn't belong. I swear to you, I know.
Come on, Sherry, come on.
Who is it, Terry? Tell us.
All right, Sherry, let's hear it.
It's
Go ahead, Cherry. Tell us.
It's the kid. It's Tommy. He's the one.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He's a little boy.
But he knew. He was the only one who knew. How could he have known?
How did he know?
How did he know?
It was Sherry who killed old man by the horn.
But it was the kid here who knew what was going to happen. How did he know?
Have you all gone crazy? Stop!
Sherry has to be the one. Give me my gun.
Les Goodman's the one. His car started. Let's wreck it.
What about Steve's radio? He's the one that called them.
Smash the radio. Give me a hammer. Give me something.
Stop! Stop!
Sherry!
All of you!
It's Sherry!
It's
Sherry killed man by the horn.
Stop! All of you!
It isn't the kid. It's Bob Weaver's house.
It's Bob Weaver's house. It's Don Martin's place.
I tell you, it's the kid.
It's Sherry. She's the one.
No, God, stop it! Stop! All of you! Killing evidence!
And far above in the hills, two observers are patiently watching.
Understand the procedure now? Just stop a few of their machines and radios and telephones and lawnmowers, throw them into darkness for a few hours, then you just sit back and watch the pattern.
And this pattern is always the same?
With few variations. They pick the most dangerous enemy they can find, and it's always themselves. And all we need to do is sit back and watch.
Then I take it this place, this Maple Street, is not unique.
By no means. Their world is full of maple streets, and they'll go from one to the other and just let them destroy themselves. One to the other, one to the other, one to the other.
The tools of conquest and war do not necessarily come from bombs and fear. There are weapons that are simply thoughts, attitudes, prejudices found in the minds of ourselves. For the record, prejudices can kill and suspicion can destroy. The thoughtless, frightened search for a scapegoat has a fallout all of its own. And the tragedy is, these things are not confined to the Twilight Zone.
And now a final word from our sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Rental Floss. Rent your dental floss for 5 years for only $19.99. Share it with your friends, your family, your neighborhood, and your whole community. And if you still need more convincing, here's our spokesperson to tell you more.
You, sir. Do you spend thousands of dollars a year on dental floss?
No.
Well, then we have a solution for you. Rental floss. Rental floss has many benefits, like saving you money. Listen to this poor mother's testimony.
Me and my family lived in a single, moldy box off of Tobacco Road, spending tens and thousands of dollars on dental floss. But with rental floss, we are now able to live in a 12-bedroom house on the beach.
It can also help you become closer to your community. Listen to this interaction between these two perfect strangers.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I borrow some of your rental floss? I have Brussels sprouts stuck in my teeth.
Of course.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. This sure does taste good. What did you have for lunch?
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What? I'm allergic to peanuts.
Whoopsie.
And how could we forget our endless amount of yummy flavors like beef stew, chicken, yogurt, ice cream, and many more.
Janie, have you been eating sweets before supper again?
Now, why would you say that, Mommy?
Well, I taste pudding on the floss.
Must be Tommy down on Maple Street.
Those kids.
And to make this deal even better, this floss will last you for years. There you go.
Rental floss, it's perfect for you. It cleans your teeth.
And your families too.
Thank y'all so much. We're so grateful that we were able to put this together this year. I know a lot of them are going to be with me and Miss Whiter this summer. We're going to have a theater camp for the first time here at Holy Cross, so we're looking forward to that. And then we will be back in the fall. Okay? I'll leave it to the teachers to get you all ready to end the day. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.